Hello, my name is Zachary Ellis, and this is my impromptu speech on three things that scare me. We can go from probably the most serious to the least serious, so that we end up on a good note. Probably the most serious, true, scary thing that really makes me upset would be the fear of something happening to my mother. She's really taking care of us, and any little thing that happens to us really sets her off and gets her really scared. And whenever anything happens to her, um, I feel like no one ever really shows her the amount of caring and passion that she shows towards us. And it's not out of pity, but I would not want anything to happen in the world. And just the thought of her getting hurt, her falling down, her, cooking and hurting her hand or something, or her getting really sick, really makes my stomach churn, makes me really upset. The second thing that probably scares me the most is getting sick. As a kid, I've had really bad acid reflux, like really like it debilitated. Like I would just fall on the floor and just moan. I was in too much pain to really cry, and I really cried, but it was really bad. And I used to go to the emergency room all the time. I didn't really know what it was. I just had a lot of digestive issues, and acid reflux was one of them. Even as a baby, I used to throw up. And probably the worst experience of my life was probably getting the flu in fifth grade. We lived in Colorado, and it was just constant vomiting. Like it was just bile was coming up, but I still was retching, and I had these stomach spasms. I had medication for it, but I would always throw it up because of the flu. So the medication they gave me for the spasms wasn't helping me, and the spasms were getting worse because of the flu. So that being said, my worst fear is getting sick. I've never really gotten food sickness, but I think that would possibly be the worst case scenario for me to get would be some sort of food sickness from uncooked food or bad food. We went on a cruise and I avoid it, and I think that's like the worst horror stories I hear of that is like from the cruise because my family cooks. We rarely go out to eat. My parents cook all the time, and I trust them when it comes to stuff like that. And then finally, my third worst fear would probably be well, I used to run a lot. Okay, so I know what it is. I run a lot. And in Florida, there's this type of grass, and they're like these little balls. They're spiky, and they stick to your clothes and your shoes. Um, my cousin went to the beach and stepped on one that was really dry, and it went all the way up in his foot. And that's not really what the fear is. I'm scared of that, of having like some sort of minor bodily injury like that, where something gets stuck in your body. But probably my bigger fear that is plant-based and it's similar to that, and that's why I bring it up. We used to live in Illinois. We used to live in Muscuda, which is like half an hour away from St. Louis. And in middle school, I was in the Read, Write, and Run club where we were supposed to read a book, write about it, and then we ran. We basically it was just a running part. We were practicing for this 5K that was supposed to happen at the end of the year around the really close to the St. Louis Arch. And in Muscuda, there were these trees, really big trees. It's a really old town. It's like a Civil War town. Um, they have these trees that would drop these little seeds. They're not seeds, but they hold seeds. They're kind of like acorns, but they're spiky balls. I think they call them gumdrops, and they look just like the spiky balls on the grass. And when they get really dry, they get really hard. The spiky balls can get stuck in your shoe, so you step on them. The ball will get stuck in your shoe, and then if you continue running, you can roll your ankle really bad from that. And like people have really messed up their feet from rolling their ankles from stepping on gumdrops, and they were always warning us about the gumdrops, which is like a ironic kind of statement. But yeah, that terrifies me because I love to run, and I would hate something happening to me like that. That would completely debilitate my ability to run for the rest of my life. Yeah. So my worst fears would be something happening to my mom, getting food sickness, and then stepping on a gumdrop.